down and you're staying home with too much time on your hands. First and foremost, I am RC Robbin. Thank you for joining me. Please like the channel. Please subscribe. Much appreciated. We play Dungeons and Dragons on this channel, but when we're not playing D&D, I like to play video games. One of those games is MLB The Show 20. Now, there's a peculiar function on MLB The Show where you can create a franchise, meaning that you can just insert a brand new team over another team. So I decided to create the Hollywood Avengers, staffed basically by the actors that play in all the Marvel movies. So let me just give you a quick introduction of the team, since this is game number 1. Anthony Mackie leads off, plays shortstop. Anthony Mackie is the actor who plays the Falcon in the Avengers movies. Tom Holland bats second. He plays Spider-Man. Robert Downey Jr. is the first baseman. He plays Iron Man. Chris Evans is Captain America. He's the catcher. Mark Ruffalo is the designated hitter. He's also the backup catcher. Mark Ruffalo is Bruce Banner, who plays the Hulk. Dave Bautista is Drax the Destroyer in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. Chadwick Boseman, the late Chadwick Boseman, is and will always be Black Panther. Idris Elba is Hemidall from the Thor universe. And Don Cheadle is War Machine. Backup players, pretty decent backup players. Sebastian Stan, it plays in the outfield. He is the Winter Soldier. Benedict Cumberbatch, it plays third base amongst other positions, and he is Doctor Strange. Clark Gregg is Phil Coulson. He is an infielder extraordinaire. Benedict Wong, his name is Wong. He's in the Doctor Strange movies. He's a sorcerer that guards the Eye of Agamotto. And Terrence Howard is the man who played Rhodes. He was War Machine in Iron Man 1 before he was replaced. So that's why he's a backup and not a starter. And Vin Diesel, I am Groot, also on the bench. Now let's also look at the pitching rotation. The ace of the staff is Thor Odin's son, Chris Hemsworth himself. Samuel L. Jackson is a starting pitcher. Tom Hiddleston, who also plays Loki. Chris Pratt is Star-Lord in the Guardians of the Galaxy. And also in the Guardians of the Galaxy, the voice of Bradley Cooper for Rocket Raccoon. Relief pitchers Paul Rudd or Ant-Man. Ed Norton, who played the Hulk before Mark Ruffalo, is in the bullpen. Josh Brolin, the villain himself, Thanos, is in the bullpen. Paul Bettany, who plays... I'm drawing a blank because of all the names being run off one after the other. He's Vision. Paul Bettany is Vision. Setup man is obviously Stan Lee. And Hawkeye himself, Jeremy Renner, is the closer. So this is basically the Hollywood Avengers. So what we did was I inserted the Hollywood Avengers into the National League West. Took the place of the San Diego Padres, and we're set up to play the first game of the season, which is against the Colorado Rockies. This is a franchise that has auto draft on. So all the players of all the major league players, plus all the legendary players, are all thrown about the major leagues randomly. So, and let's go to the calendar and let's start this up. First game of a 3-game set on March 26, 2020 against the Colorado Rockies. View organization's games. Tom Seaver versus Chris Hemsworth. Play a game. Okay. Okay, I have to fix the lineups. It says I don't have valid lineups. So unfortunately, I have to go back and just make sure that the lineups are okay. Correct. 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 Okay. I don't see the problem with the lineup. I don't see the problem. Okay. Let's go back to the calendar. Play game. Okay. Play full game. We are the home team. We're playing at Crosley Field, which is a classic stadium. I'm going to make that the home field for the Hollywood Avengers. Okay. Thor is the starting pitcher, and there's no reason why we can't start the game off this way. So here we go. Game 1 of the Avengers, playing a little baseball. Difficulty level is set at All-Star for hitting and pitching. I may have to tweak some presentation options. We'll see. So it's opening day here at Crosley Field between the Colorado Rockies and the Hollywood Avengers. On the mound for the Avengers is Thor himself, Chris Hemsworth. And leading off for the Rockies is Duke Snider. Duke Snider played for the Brooklyn Dodgers in the 1950s. And he fouls off the first pitch for strike 1.
First pitch, 111.
And it's a relatively deep fly ball, but in left field. He makes the catch for the first out of the inning. Starting lineup for the Colorado Rockies: Duke Snider is in center, Greg Jones is short, Willie McCovey at first, Miguel Cabrera at third, Yuri Gurriel is designated hitter, Jason Hayward is in right, Andrew McCutcheon in left, Michael Bush at second base, and Corey Lee is the catcher. Next up is Greg Jones. Thor deals, and he throws low, ball 1. Splitter's in there for strike 1. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Beautiful day here in Crosley Field. And it's a shallow fly ball, but, oh wait, is it a catch? It is a catch. Anthony Mackie looked a little shaky out there, but pop-up is caught for the second out of the inning. Next up is Willie McCovey. Line drive to left, and he is there to make the catch to retire the side. So it's a 1-2-3 inning for Chris Hemsworth. Half an inning of play, it's Colorado nothing. Hollywood coming to bat. On the mound for the Colorado Rockies is Tom Seaver. You don't have to look at his stats. Leading off for the Avengers is Anthony Mackie. Again, Anthony Mackie plays Falcon in the Avengers universe. He fouls off the first pitch for strike 1. Out in front of the changeup, counts quickly, no balls and 2 strikes on Mackie. Strike 3 called. There's 1 out here in the first.
Batting second, the second baseman.
Too close to take with 2 strikes. Next up is Tom Holland, Spider-Man himself. Swing and a miss. Strike 1 on Tom. And he hits it high and deep. At the wall, he leaps, it's off the wall. Looks like it's gonna roll, it's gonna be a triple. It's a triple with 1 out for Tom Holland. Spider-Man makes it to third base. His first major league hit, not surprising.
Number 12.
Putting that ball away for him. Next up is Robert Downey Jr. playing first base, Iron Man himself. And he pulls it foul. fouls it off. Count is very quickly, no balls and 2 strikes on RDJ. And it's a line drive towards the gap. It's a base hit, and it's going to be an RBI single for Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man drives in the first run of the season. Seems appropriate.
Batting for the pitcher, Chris Evans.
Chris Evans, Captain America, steps in. Pitches outside for ball 1. Inside ball 2 on Captain. And it's a soft ground ball to the second baseman. Over to second for 1, back to first. Not in time. It's a fielder's choice. And there are 2 outs here in the bottom of the first.
The designated hitter.
Nice play.
84.
Next up is Mark Ruffalo. Plays Bruce Banner, a.k.a. the Incredible Hulk in the Avengers universe. He takes strike 1. Pitch out, but Captain is going nowhere. Evans is staying at first. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike on Ruffalo. Swing and a miss. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes on the Hulk.
Nope.
Count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Evans leads off first. 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. And he's off on the pitch. It's fouled off. Count will remain at 2 balls and 2 strikes on Ruffalo. We'll do it again. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, side retired. But they get a run on the RBI single by Robert Downey Jr. And after 1 inning of play, it's the Avengers 1, the Rockies nothing. Top of the second. Leading off for the Rockies is Miguel Cabrera, a young Miguel Cabrera. You can tell by his waistline. Sinker's in there for strike 1. The Odin son is on the mound. Chris Hemsworth. And he fouls it off. Count is quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. Grounds it weakly to short. Mackey is there. He fields, fires. Got him at first. For the first out. Here in the second inning. Defense for the Avengers. It's Dave Bautista in left. Don Cheadle in center. Idris Elba in right. And in the infield from left to right, it's Bozeman, Mackey, Holland, and Robert Downey Jr. with Chris Evans, the captain, behind the plate. Strike 1. Yuli Gurriel is at the plate with 1 out here in the second. And it's a base hit up the middle. Gurriel is on first with 1 out in the second. Hard line drive back to the box.
That is good. The right fielder, Cheadle.
Next up for the Rockies is Jason Hayward. And he fouls off the 2-seamer for strike 1. Swing and a miss at the split finger fastball. Count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes. And he grounds it past the diving Mackey and into left field. It's a base hit, and with 1 out here in the second, they've got something cooking. There's runners at first and second for the Colorado Rockies. Just out of a lunge. So next up for the Rockies is Andrew McCutcheon. And he skies it to shallow center. In comes Don Cheadle, who makes the catch for the second out of the inning.
Batting it, the second baseman,
Michael Bush, up with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. There's runners at first and second. He fouls off the sinker for strike 1. And Thor deals. Pulls it foul. The count is no balls and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, side retired. Gives them the Lightning. So after an inning and a half, it's 1-0 Avengers. Leading off for the Avengers is Dave Bautista, also known as Drax the Destroyer from the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise. He's playing right field today. Checks the swing, outside, ball 1. And he fouls off the next pitch. Count evens 1 ball, 1 strike on Bautista. Outside, checks his swing, count is 2-1. Tom Seaver is a Hall of Famer who pitched for the New York Mets, won a World Series with them in 1969. Down low, count is 3 balls, 1 strike, with nobody out here in the bottom of the second. And it's a line drive over the head of the second baseman, and it'll be a base hit to lead off the inning. Bautista's at first. Nice piece of hitting the other way. Obviously, I used a whole bunch of rookies in order to create these players. So that's why they're all getting their first major league hit. So next up, Chadwick Boseman. Black Panther forever. Wakanda forever, baby. You live on in the hearts and minds of everyone. Count is 1 ball and no strike on Chadwick. Ball 2. Count is 2 balls and no strikes on Chadwick, on the Panther. Quick throw over the first, Bautista's back. It's a hard ground ball past the second baseman into right field. And there are runners at first and second with nobody out here in the second inning. And of course, Chadwick gets his first major league hit like everyone else on the team. So Idris Elba plays Hemidall in the Thor universe, is up there with first and second and nobody out. And it's a line drive to center and it will fall for base hit. It's going to be an RBI single for Idris Elba as the runner goes from first to third. And it's a 2-0 lead for the Avengers.
Batting ninth, the center fielder, number 10.
Batting ninth is Don Cheadle, playing center field today. He's got runners at first and third and nobody out. Pitch is outside, ball 1. Just want to make sure of something. I want to make sure options, gameplay, all-star, pitching difficulty all-star. I just want to make sure that it was on all-star, just in case. So the count is 1-0. Outside, count is 2-0. I mean, they are superheroes after all. So. He hits it high and deep to center on the warning track. He makes the catch, and that'll be good as a sacrifice fly for Cheadle. He'll get the sack fly in the RBI, and the MCU leads 3-0 over the Colorado Rockies. And that's the first out. Anthony Mackie, the leadoff man, struck out in the first. The shortstop steps in. Falcon. Quick throw to first. Elba's back in. So we have a runner at first with 1 out here in the bottom of the second. Just at the knees for strike 1. They're all making their major league debut. They're actors, damn it. And the throw down the second is in time. Elba's caught stealing, and there are 2 outs. I thought he was safe. Let's see the replay. Oh, he was absolutely safe. What a terrible call. Terrible call. So next up is Anthony Mackie. Well, Anthony Mackie's still up. The count is 1 ball and 1 strike. It's now 1 ball and 2 strikes because it hits the corner, backdoors him with the slider. And he gets a piece of the fastball to stay alive. The count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Outside, count evens 2 balls and 2 strikes. Goes high out of the zone. Fouls it back to stay alive. And the count goes full on Mackie. 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. And it's a line drive to left. There is the outfielder to make the catch and retire the side, but not before they score 2 more. At the end of 2 innings of play, it's 3-0 Avengers. Leading off the top of the third is Corey Lee for the Rockies. Hemsworth deals. And he hits a high, deep drive. And it will be 1 hop to the wall. And it's a leadoff stand-up double for Corey Lee. That's his first career major league hit as well. A whole lot of firsts. So the lineup turns over. It's Duke Schneider who flew out in the first. He steps in against Chris Hemsworth. And he takes strike 1, inside corner. Fouls off the sinker, strike 2. In the 1950s, Duke Schneider was kind of like Brooklyn's answer to Mickey Mantle. And he fouls it off, slices it into the seats. Count remains, no balls and 2 strikes on Schneider. High and tight, 1-2. And he serves it shallow, and I think it's caught. It is caught. 1 out. Almost a double play. Nice play by Idris Elba. So Greg Jones is up. He's 1 out, runner at second in scoring position. Just off the plate outside. Count is 1 ball, no strikes. Inside ball 2. Count is 2 balls, no strikes. Strike 1.
I got 2 on the count.
Thor Odin's son, throwing the heat. Ground ball to second. Mackie holds the runner, toes it over to first, and Robert Downey Jr. lays out, gets the out for the second. Runner does not advance. Willie McCovey's 0 for 1. He steps in again for the Rockies. Strike one. And he skies it to deep left field. If I'm not mistaken, I think it is Batista is there to make the catch to retire the side. So after 2.5 innings of play, score remains Avengers 3, Rockies nothing. Bottom of the third, Tom Holland, Spider-Man, tripled in the first. He has a run scored. This is his second plate appearance. And he fouls it back to the screen for strike one. Inside, count evens, 1 ball and 1 strike on Spidey. And he skies it the other way deep, but playable. The right fielder makes the catch for the first out of the inning.
Now batting.
Upcoming schedule for the Hollywood Avengers is 3 games at the Rockies, 3 games at the Atlanta Braves, and then off day on the following Thursday. Next up is RDJ, Iron Man himself. He had an RBI single in the first. Pitches outside for ball 1. Ball 2, low. Just on the corner. Count is 2 balls and 1 strike on RDJ. Count goes 3 balls, 1 strike. The captain, Chris Evans, is on deck. And he pulls it foul. Count goes full, 3 balls, 2 strikes, with 1 out here in the bottom of the third. And he skies it to center field. It's deep, but playable. Duke Schneider is there. He makes the catch for the second out.
The batter, the catcher, Chris Evans.
Stepping up to the plate, Captain America, Chris Evans. He's 0 for 1. And he slices it foul. Strike 1. Outside, 1-1.
Outside.
2-1. And he slices it towards the gap. The center fielder's on a long run, and Snyder gets there after a long run to retire the side. So after 3 innings of play, the score remains 3-0, Avengers. Top of the 4th. Miguel Cabrera steps up. He's 0 for 1.
The third baseman, number 24, Miguel Cabrera.
And he slices it, but right at, it's almost misplayed by Idris Elba. But he makes the catch at the last moment for the first out.
Number 10, designated hitter,
Yuli Gurriel singled in the second. He's 1 for 1. Drives it up the middle. He's now 2 for 2. Base hit for Gurriel. 1 out here in the top of the 4th. They have a base runner.
The batter, the right
Here's the
fielder,
replay.
Jason Hayward.
Jason Kendall steps up. He singled in the second inning. And he pulls it into foul territory for strike 1. Fouls off the sinker, strike 2. Inside, knocks him off the plate. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes on Hayward. Just gets a piece of the slider to stay alive. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That is the second strikeout for Thor in today's game.
Now back, left field.
Bring in the thunder. Andrew McCutcheon steps in. Flew out in the second inning. He's 0 for 1. Grounds it hard to the second baseman. Takes it to second for the force to retire the side. So, they have midway through the 4th. It's still a 3-run lead for the Avengers. Bottom of the 4th. Mark Ruffalo struck out in the 1st. He steps in yet again.
Number 84.
Pitches outside for ball 1. He fouls it off, slices it down the right field line. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Swing and a miss.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
96 on the radar gun. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes on Ruffalo.
Oh, that's wrong.
Outside, ball 2, 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Pitch speed comparison brought to you by Topps Playing Cards. As you can see, both Seaver and Hemsworth is bringing the heat. So with 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th, Dave Bautista's up. He has a single and a run scored in today's game. Pitch is outside for ball 1. Swing and a miss. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike. And he pops it behind the plate. He's there and makes the catch for the second out.
Now batting.
Chadwick Boseman, Black Panther himself, 1 for 1. High and tight, ball 1.
Oh, that's
Outside,
off.
ball 2. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Count as 2 balls and 1 strike. Interesting thing about Chadwick Boseman is that he actually played Jackie Robinson in the movie. Oh, right off the pitcher. Comes back to the catcher. There's no play at first. Hopefully the pitcher is okay. Let's see if Seaver is all right.
Now batting. Number 63.
He literally ricocheted right off of his chest. Get him in the arm. Well, he seems to be fine. He's waving off the trainer. Idris Elba steps in. Hemidall. He has an RBI single in the game. Batista leads off first. And there's a pitch out, but he's going. And that's the second caught stealing today. And the side is retired. The Avengers are not stealing with any kind of proficiency. They're just getting caught. Although, I think his hand was in there before the tag came down. But still a 3-0 lead. So it's the top of the 5th. Michael Bush struck out in the second inning. He faces Hemsworth for the fouls it just foul down the third base line for strike 1. Swing and a miss.
I got the count.
Strike
0
2.
and 2.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 1 out. That's the 3rd strikeout by Hemsworth.
The catcher, number 35.
Bring in the heat.
Corey Lee.
Corey Lee steps in. 1 out here in the top of the 5th. Fouls the 2-seamer back to the screen. Again, fouls it off. Count is 0 and 2 on Lee. Corey Lee does have a hit in this game already. Double. Jams him in on his hands. Lazy fly ball to left field. Batista is there. He makes the catch for the second out here in the fifth.
Now batting, the center fielder.
Lineup turns over again for the Rockies as Duke Schneider has flown out twice in this game. Steps in for his third plate appearance. Strike one. Fouls off the sinker. Count is no balls and 2 strikes.
Nope.
Waste pitch.
1 ball.
It's high.
2 strikes.
Ball 1. 1-2. Strike 3 inside corner. And the side is retired. Schneider does not agree with the call. Anyway, middle of the fifth, it's still 3-0 MCU. Leading off is Idris Elba.
For the
He was
Avengers.
up at the plate previous inning, but Batista was thrown out stealing. Line drive to the second baseman, Corey Lee. Throws over to first. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the bottom of the fifth. And that's not Corey Lee, that's Michael Bush. Check that. Next up is Don Cheadle, the center fielder. Hit a sacrifice fly in this game. Right on the corner for strike 1. Straightaway center. Snyder barely has to move. Makes the catch in front of the warning track for the second out.
Now batting, number 9.
Leadoff man Anthony Mackie, the Falcon. It's 0 for 2 today. Just gets a piece. Strike 1. And he jams him a bit. Snyder is again there. Makes the catch to retire the side. So 5 innings are complete. It's an official ball game. And the Avengers still lead by 3. Top of the 6th. Greg Jones is 0 for 2. He's popped up. He's grounded out.
Greg.
He takes strike 1 at the knees. Swing and a miss at the sinker, strike 2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. I believe that's his 5th strikeout of the game. 5 strikeouts in 5 1/3 inning.
Number 44.
High and tight, couldn't catch up. Next up is Willie McCovey. He's 0 for 2 as well. Just low, ball 1. Line drive to center. It's going to be a base hit for Willie McCovey. He's 1 for 3 today. And with 1 out here in the 6th inning, the Rockies have a base runner.
The third baseman, number 24.
Hard line drive,
Miguel.
back through the center of the box. Center of the diamond. So next up is Miguel Cabrera, who's 0 for 2. He takes strike 1 on the outside corner. Swing and a miss at the sinker, strike 2. Swing and a miss, his 6th strikeout of the game, and there are 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Top of the 6th, check that. Here's the replay in real time.
Designated hitter, Gurriel.
Now Gurriel, who's 2 for 2 today with 2 singles, steps in. Inside, ball 1. Right on the edge, strike 1. Count evens, 1 ball, 1 strike. Covey leads off first. Swing and a miss, strike two. Count as 1 ball and 2 strikes on Gurriel. Jams him, fouls it back to the screen. Count remains 1-2. Grounds it to Robert Downey Jr., who for some unknown reason throws to second for the force to retire the side instead of just taking it to the bag himself. Everyone kind of now shakes their head at RDJ, but halfway through the 6th, it's still 3-0. Hollywood Avengers. Spider-Man, Tom Holland, has a triple in today's game. He's 1 for 2. He steps up the bottom of the 6th to lead off.
Holland.
And he fouls it off for strike 1. Out in front of the slider, count as no balls and 2 strikes on Holland.
That's a ball.
Pitch is high, count is 1-2. 2 right-handers warming up in the Rockies bullpen, Ponce and Fasola. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and there's 1 out.
Now batting, number 12.
Next up, Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man has an RBI single today. It's 1 for 2. And he skies the first pitch to the left fielder, settles under it, makes the catch for the 2nd out.
Now batting,
Captain America, Chris Evans, steps up. He's 0 for 2. Inside ball 1.
1-0.
Fouls it off. Count as 1 ball and 1 strike on the captain. Fouls it back yet again. It's 1-2. Outside ball 2. Count evens. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Checks the swing, count goes full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here comes the payoff pitch. Ground ball to the second baseman, Bush, who fires over to first to retire the side. So 6 innings of baseball are complete. Colorado is still losing by 3. Leading off the top of the 7th, Jason Hayward, 1 for 2.
Right fielder, Jason Hayward.
Called strike 1. Strike 2. Did he check his swing? Yes, he did. The count is 1 ball and 2 strikes on Hayward. High. Count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Low. Count goes full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Actually, this is the first 3-2 count for Chris Hemsworth. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That is the 7th strikeout of the game for Thor.
Now batting, left fielder, Andrew McCutcheon.
Andrew McCutcheon steps in. 1 out here in the top of the 7th. He grounds a foul, strike 1. And he skies it the other way But Idris Elba is there. He makes the catch for the second out here in the 7th.
The batter, the second baseman,
Michael Bush struck out twice today. This is his 3rd plate appearance. And he swings at the first pitch and skies at the center. Don Cheadle, War Machine, is there. He makes the catch to retire the side. Get up and stretch, ladies and gentlemen. Time for the 7th inning stretch. Avengers lead by 3.
Your attention, please.
New pitcher for the Colorado Rockies is Cody Ponce,
Number 60.
6'5". Mark Ruffalo, Bruce Banner, or the Hulk, struck out twice. He's about to get angry.
Number 84.
He did not check it. He went too far. Strike 1. Pitch is low, ball 1. Count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Ball,
2 and 1.
last pitch is out.
Did he go?
Did he go?
No, he did not. Count is 3 balls and 1 strike on Ruffalo.
3-2.
Swing and a miss. And the count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes here with nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th. He's out in front, pulls it foul. We'll do it again. And it's a line drive, base hit to center, towards the gap. Duke Schneider fields. There's a big turn at first, but Ruffalo will stay. And there's a leadoff runner here for the MCU.
Now batting, left fielder,
Dave Bautista's up. He's 1 for 2. In there for strike 1. Drax, the Destroyer. In the dirt, blocked nicely. No advance. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike on Bautista. And he grounds it through the right side and into right field for a base hit. There are runners at first and second with nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th. Here's a replay.
now batting, number 22.
Down ball with eyes. So next up is Chadwick Boseman, who's 2 for 2 with 2 singles. There's a runner in scoring position. He hits it right at the shortstop. 6-4, 3, double play. And there are 2 down now with the runner at third base. So if you stack quickly, there's 2 out.
The batter, number 63.
Idris Elba, Hemidall, the man who sees all, the Asgardian, is up with 2 outs here in the 7th. And he takes outside ball low. Ball 1. Swings at the high fastball. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike on Elba. Just gets a piece of the fastball. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. In the dirt, 2 and 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. Runner at third leads off. Off the end of the bat, he has a long way to run, but Schneider is there. He makes the catch to retire the side. So no runs, 2 hits, 1 left because of the double play. The end of 7 innings of play. It's the Avengers 3, the Rockies nothing. Okay, real quick, manager's office, bullpen.
Leading off for the
Stan Lee is going to warm up
Corey Lee.
just in case. Corey Lee is up. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. He's 1 for 2. Pitch is outside, ball one. Swing and a miss, strike two.
Count 1 and 2.
Ball, that's out.
Slider just low. Count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, that's his 8th strikeout of the game. Pitcher comparison. Hemsworth is still pitching. Tom's out of the game. Obviously, you can see who has the advantage. Thor, God of Thunder, the mighty Thor. So the lineup turns over. It's Duke Schneider, who's 0 for 3. Steps in. And he takes a cold strike one. Swing and a miss at the slider. 0 and 2. And he grounds it just foul. Just gets a piece to stay alive. Count remains, no balls and 2 strikes. 7 1/3 innings pitched for Hemsworth. And he flies it to center. But there is Cheadle. War Machine makes the catch for the second out here in the 8th.
The bat, number 2.
Greg Jones, 0 for 3.
Greg Jones.
And the pitch is low. Ball one. Grounds it to Robert Downey Jr., who takes it himself for the final out here in the 8th inning. So 8 innings of strong pitching, shutout ball. Will he pitch the 9th? Who knows? They're leading 3-0. He's not pitching the 9th. Okay, manager, bullpen. Stanley is going to sit down.
The center fielder, number 10.
Hawkeye, Jeremy Renner's going to warm up. Hawkeye is scheduled to put him in the game. If I blow them out in this inning, maybe it'll be Ed Norton. Don Cheadle, War Machine, takes ball one. Fouls off the fastball, count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. On Rhodey. And it's a line drive towards the gap, and it's going to bounce. 1 bounce to the wall. He makes the turn. He's making his way for a stand-up double to lead off the bottom of the 8th. First major league hit. The first major league hit since all these guys have no game playing experience. Leadoff man, Anthony Mackie's 0 for 3. Falcon steps in, hoping to break that. And it's bounced off the pitcher. He reacts quickly, throws to first. He's safe. So it's 1st and 3rd after the infield hit by Anthony Mackie. His first major league hit. There's nobody out here in the 8th. Everything okay? Oh, that's the... So pitching change for the Rockies. Tyler Clippard steps in to take over. Tom Holland, Spider-Man, is up. He had a triple today. And he fouls off the first pitch for strike 1. The triple, a run scored. He's 1 for 3. There's nobody out. Runners at 1st and 3rd. Check the swing. Pitch is low. Count is 1 ball and 1 strikes. Grounds it to the 3rd baseman, who throws over to 2nd for 1. Back to 1st. Double play. So a run scores on the double play. No RBI for Tom Holland. But the score is now 4-0 MCU. 5-4-3 double play. Next up, Robert Downey Jr., 1 for 3 with an RBI single. 2 outs, bases empty. And it's a line drive right at the right fielder to retire the side. So, they get a run from the double play ground out. The end of 8 innings of play, it's last licks for the Colorado Rockies. They need 4 to tie. Okay, change pitches, no. Okay. Willie McCovey is up. Hold on a second. Manager, bullpen. Ed Norton is going to sit down. Jeremy Renner is going to continue to warm up just in case something bad happens. Hemsworth is going for the complete game shutout. And he might not have it. It is high. It is deep. It is off the wall, one bounce. And there's a runner at second base and nobody out here in the top of the ninth. The leadoff man.
The third baseman, number 24.
Willie McCovey puts a charge into that one. Just goes with it the other way. Almost drives it out of the ballpark. So, Miguel Cabrera steps in. He has a runner in scoring position. He's 0 for 3 today. And he jams him a little on his hands. It's deep to the left fielder, Batista. He makes the catch. Gets the ball in quickly. No advance on the base pass. And that's the first out of the inning.
Now batting, the designated hitter.
Gurriel is 2 for 3. He steps up. McCovey leads off second. And he pops him back up behind the screen, behind the home plate for the first strike. Strike 2. Jams him in on his hands. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes on Gurriel. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. They're down to their final out. That was the 9th strikeout of the game for Thor. The mighty Thor.
The right fielder.
Strongest Avenger. So, Jason Hayward has had a single in the second. He's 1 for 3. And he skies the first pitch to center, and this should do it. War Machine is there. He makes the catch. And the first game ever for the Hollywood Avengers, MCU, is a victorious again. They've won their first game of the season at home and start the season 1-0. Winning pitcher is Chris Hemsworth. Goes a complete game shutout, and they win 4-0. Nice. All right, so the experiment shall continue. I'm going to continue winning these games, hopefully, fingers crossed. My intention is to play every inning of every game of a 162-game schedule, see how far it can go. 4 runs, 10 hits, no errors. No runs, 6 hits, and no errors for the Colorado Rockies. Chris Hemsworth the winner, Tom Seaver is the loss. And obviously Chris Hemsworth with a complete game shutout. 6-hitter, 9 strikeouts is the player of the game. That was Avengers Baseball. So, thank you for watching. Obviously, I'm a little crazy for doing this, but I'm having fun. Hopefully you'll have fun watching. Have a great night.
Thank you.